Okay, in this video, we're just looking at a different way to think about angles here, okay? And if you can imagine a wristwatch or a clock, just like with some rotating hands, what we're looking at is the way that we're going to agree that angles are measured when they are on this, when they're on a Cartesian graph or the X and Y axis type graph, okay? That's going to give us a circle, and we're going to explore that as time goes on. So the first thing that we need to know is that our initial side right here, angles, it starts there, and then it's going to go, if it goes counterclockwise, or if it's turning to the left, that means it's going to make a positive turn, and then it is going to end on a terminal side. So whatever angle is measured right here starts on this side, and then it cranks its way on over to this side, okay? So that would be an angle in a standard position. You have an initial side where you start, which is oftentimes, almost all times, going to be on the positive x-axis, okay? This right here, and then it is going to spin around the circle just like a clock hand would and create an angle. A positive, like if you have a positive angle, it's going to go in this direction, okay? And if you have a negative angle, it would go in this direction, okay? So for example, if I were to say this is going to be a positive 120 degrees, right? I would start here, and then it would go in this direction. But if I had a negative, right, maybe, oops, 1 second. This angle right here might be a negative 30 degrees. It would go in this direction. So that's kind of new for us in regards to it could go in a positive or negative direction. We haven't had negative angles before, so that is that's kind of a new concept, and we're going to explore that in the future here. Coterminal angles are going to be angles that share the same terminal sides. So you notice that with these angles right here, okay, they both start alpha and beta, the A, which it looks like a little, I don't know, fish, and a B looks like a fancy bee there, is that alpha is going to go in this positive direction here, and beta, if it goes in this negative direction here, it both shares that terminal side where it stops, and so those would be called coterminal angles. And likewise, if I had alpha, which is just going to go a little bit in the positive direction there for that guy, and I had beta that was going to turn all the way around, pass it up, and then stop again, kind of like a spinner in a game that you would play, then they would both end up on the same terminal side, and there'd be coterminal angles. Okay? So, let's take a look at sketching these and visualizing angles down below, and then we're also going to try an exercise that's going to help us visualize this stuff out. So let's take a look. Okay, so when we're visualizing these angles out, one thing that I want to go ahead and to start with is that we imagine that this is going to be 0, and then this would be 90 degrees. This is going to make sense in a minute. 180 degrees, and down here is going to be 270 degrees, and then back at 360. So what we're doing is that with 225 degrees, we start here, and we know it's going to be positive, so it's going to be going in this direction, okay? So we also know that it has to be in between 180 and 270 degrees. Okay, so our angle, we're going to go ahead and it's going to stop right about, let's see, right in the middle here, okay, because 225 is going to be in the middle of 180 and 270. So we would label this as 225 degrees, okay. Now, a coterminal angle would be, we know that there's 360 degrees in a circle. So therefore, if I started right here and I went in this direction, what angle, if I went in the negative direction, is going to go ahead and meet with that? So if I think to myself, all right, I have 360 degrees, and I've already eaten up 225 of that, what is going to be left? Okay, and so it looks like the answer is going to be 135 degrees. So if I go 135 degrees in this direction, which will make it negative, a negative 135 degrees, then both angles are going to meet in that particular place. Okay, let's take a look at this next one here. Start here, and like I said, 0, 90, 180, 270, and 360 degrees in a circle. So if I'm going negative 90, that means is that my first turn is going to go in this direction. And if I'm going 90 degrees, that means is that I'm going like a right angle right here. So that is going to be that angle right there. That's a negative 90 degrees. Now, if I wanted a coterminal angle with that, I can imagine that if I went around in this direction and met up with that angle, that would give me a positive 270 degrees. Okay? So again, that's how that guy is going to work out. Okay? Okay, for 405, that's going to look like it's going to go around the circle more than once, okay? Because we have 360 degrees in a circle, all right? And so this means is that this angle has started here, and now it has gone 360 in the positive direction, because it's positive, and then some. So to find out how much further than 360 it's gone, I can say, all right, well, if I take 360 off of that, it looks like I'm going to get a, let's see, a 45 degree angle. So it looks like it's going to go further, so it's not going to stop, right at the 360. It's going to keep going past that and go right to 45 degrees, and it is going to create this guy right here, okay? So that all the way around, it loops around, and that is going to be a 405 degree angle. Now, what's another angle that's coterminal? Well, we could just say that just going from here to here, which we know is going to be 45 degrees, because that's what's left out of 360, is going to give us the coterminal angle of 45 degrees. Okay. And then finally, a negative 270. So let me set up the angles here. Okay, so for this guy, it's going in the negative direction here. So we start here, and what we're going to do is that we're going to turn in this direction 180. So that's already 180, and what I want to do is go about 30 degrees more, and that's going to give me my negative 210. Okay, which, oops, that looks like 20. Fix that up. So it's a negative 210. So I know that if I go in this direction, okay, what's going to be left if I have 360 and 210 is already eaten up from it, and that answer is going to be 150 degrees is going to be a coterminal angle, okay? So we got kind of a lot of stuff to think about as far as what direction things, well, first of all, where to start, right? Positive and negative angles, which negative angles could be pretty new to us, and then how to go ahead and visualize angles that are going in each different direction to make coterminal angles. So all pretty important stuff, and we're going to explore some more important things in this next video coming on up. So I'll see you there.